Everyone, welcome to this new video. So in this particular section, we will try to Dockerize or containerize our application which we built in the previous video. So if you are coming directly to this video, I would suggest please go to the playlist, go move from the start, otherwise you will not get the context. So in the previous video, we created this customer management application. We tested with the tested the REST endpoints. We verified the persistence of the data. In this video, we will be just containerizing or dockerizing it and then run the same tests again. So for containerizing, let's start. So this was our okay. So let's close everything and let's open the build.gradle. So let's add um, this application plugin and application. Let's give the uh, main class. So we have to give a starting point for this thing. So this customer management app was our starting point. Let's copy, paste it over here. So this is done, and then what we need to do here is we need to create uh, a Docker file. So I have some uh, cheat sheets ready with me just to create the Docker file. So we will be using this. So basically, mm, we will be using this command in the Docker file. So uh, let's see how it goes. Okay, so let's copy this thing. So I'll explain you each of these line what it does. So let's create the Docker file first. Okay, so the first line it says about which uh, image we are going to use, base image. So we'll be using this JDK here, and basically this one exact same thing you can get it from Docker Hub. And these two lines, so I'm defining that there will be a command line arg, and that will be basically the file name that we want to use. Um, and this line says that copy, or this is basically the location of the file name. Copy it from here to root folder app.jar, and this one is like how, like the normal way we start a springboot application, which is java minus jar some app name dot jar. So we created this Docker file here. Now what needs to be done is uh, in the build.xml, build.gradle, we have defined the main class. I think this is main class name. Yeah. And now let's do a quick Gradle refresh. So what do I could not find application. Okay, so this is a curly braces. Yep. What else? 39. Mhm. This has to be equals. Okay, this is done. Now let's open up the terminal. Again, I'm going to use my cheat sheet here. So in order to build a Docker image, we are going to use this command, which is, let me just copy this thing. So what it does is, I think there is something, I just copied it from some other project, so it has to be, I have to change the name actually. Customer management. And let's build the jar also, boot jar, which is a spring boot fat jar. It generates, so we will be getting it within the libs. So this is the name. So let's copy the name of the jar. So now paste it. Okay, so what does this line do? I'll just explain quickly. So what we are saying is Docker build minus t, which is like with a tag. The tag name will be customer management latest tag, and we are passing the build argument. And as I mentioned, in while creating the Docker file, we gave the jar file as a command line arg. So in the command line, we're going to pass the location of this thing. So as you can see, this is within build/libs after building this one. And what else? Where did this come? Yeah, yeah, this is the right thing. And this dot mentions that you get all the files from the current location. So current location is the root of the project. Let's see. So it finally created this thing latest. Let's verify this with Docker images. So we get this thing 6 seconds ago. Okay, looks good. Now let's run the image. So for running this image, I would be using this again from the cheat sheet. I'll again explain what we are doing here. So this line Docker run, uh, basically we are running one image with a name. So the name is customer management minus D. Minus D means detached. So it will not open the terminal and we won't be able to see the logs and all. So silently it will start. Minus P 80812. So this is basically port mapping what we are doing. So by default, if you see in our resources, src main resources application.yml, we have given the default port as 8080. So within the container, this will be running in 8080, and outside the container, we can access it at 8081. So this is the port mapping from host to within the container. As you see in the application.yml, we have this environment variables. We need to pass that. So we are passing all these environment variables. One thing to note over here, you can see the DB host I have given here is 172. How did I get this DB host? So all you need to do, earlier in the previous video, I mentioned that we will be using PostgreSQL Docker image. So let's see Docker PS. So here is the Postgres, which is already up and running in Docker. Now let's see what is the IP of this one. Docker inspect Postgres. Scroll little up, look for IP address. Okay, here it is. So this is 172.17.0.2. So this is from here I actually got this IP address. So when you so when I executed the Docker run thing, oops, I think we lost that one. So let me just scroll up. Yes. So we, see this IP address is basically the IPS or address of this Docker container, which is already running. And these are all the environment variables. And the last line is the image that we want to run, which is just now we created the image customer management. We want to run that one. Just let us just see the logs. So this is the hash of the logs which got created. So let's see whether it ran properly or not. Docker logs -f this thing. Okay, as you can see, it is started. So cool. Let's stop this one. Now let's hit the endpoint from uh, uh, Postman. So earlier, if you remember, we were using port 8080, but now since we are running it from a container, as you might have seen that we did a mapping from guest to host, which is 8081 to 8080, because we will be running other applications also, and all of them will be running will be having a default port which is 8080 for the Spring configuration. So we don't want we don't want any clashes. So let's say that for customer management we are giving 8081, for other application we will give different port numbers. So now let's hit this with this customer. First check the get request, which should give us a live response. So yeah, so that means the controller is up and running. Now let's try a persistence thing. So here we give some value and it is post. Let's hit it. Okay, we got an ID 32. Now let's try to retrieve this one. 32, port is 8081. Okay, the same thing we got it, which we just now saved. Looks fine. Also, let us verify the same in our database by doing a select star. Yes, the new record is there, 32 ID. So that's it for this video. In this video, we were able to containerize the application which we created in our previous step, and uh, looking at the plan. So here is the plan. So in this video, we actually did the containerization. In the next video, we will try to run this app from within a Kubernetes cluster. So thank you guys for staying with me this long. See you in the next video. Bye.